Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Tell me, boy.
I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid, bitch, I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid, bitch, I'm paranoid.
Testicles 1, 2, testicles. Welcome back to Paranoid Radio Podcast. This is the best show with the best content for the best listeners. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Trebles Garcia, and I am the humble host of this show. I have an amazing episode lined up for all of you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I have also some announcements before we jump into the deep end of the pool. Guys, paranoidradio.com is right now temporarily under maintenance for the next month. Has some issues with the host, with the server services that we were paying for, and I'm trying to shift everything and then restructure the entire website. So make sure you visit us only on Paranoid Radio on Instagram, Paranoid Radio on Instagram. Also, drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts that allows other people to enjoy the show as much as we enjoy making it. Now, guys, I also want to give amazing shout outs to Caesar Face for dropping an amazing Apple Podcast review, a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, for sharing the show, for sending us images, and also for influencing a lot of parts of this show tonight. So Caesar Face, you know who you are. Massive shout outs, big boy. We fucking love you, dog. You're fucking in our hearts, and always dedicating this episode to you. I hope you enjoy it. Now, here we go. Joining us once more. A friend, a father, a podcast host, a holistic development enthusiast, the man with the rope, and the man with the show that's a fucking banger. He has 10. He's managed to be in our top 10 banger episodes of all time. And in our little humble show, he's invested so much with us, not only with his friendship but also knowledge. He has an arsenal of information that he needs to put out. Please give a warm welcome to the show host of Sunday Night Secret Society's podcast, Chef. What's up, dog?
Man, dude. Okay, I already know you've heard this before, but not only is your podcast fucking off the charts, but the intros, dog. I'm just so blessed. Thank you, man. Thank you so very much.
Dog.
I'm happy to be here.
This is your third time here. This is your third time here, dog.
Adam, there's gonna be many more, brother.
You know what, bro? We had an episode together where I was introduced and featured on your show. I think we blew it out of the fucking water, and it was like a random conversation. I didn't even know what the fuck we were talking about. We started with JFK, and we ended up with like 9/11 and shit. It was wild on your show, and I really hope that people take a listen to that show. It's called Paranoid with Trebles Garcia on Sunday Night Secret Society's podcast. So make sure you check them out. Where can they find you, dog? What other plugs do you have? And let us know a little bit about you, bro, please.
Yeah, man. So I guess I'll start off with I go by Chef, and yeah, we rock it out on Sunday Night Secret Society. So the idea behind that was kind of every Sunday we gather with a few people and just kind of shoot it back and forth. We have a blast. For me, it's kind of like a therapy thing, I guess you would call it. It's there's a lot of the things that you hear on Paranoid Radio and other similar podcasts. It's not really something you're able to talk about with your everyday NPCs walking around, right? They think you're crazy. So this is...
And you said NPC, hinting simulation theory,
Yeah. And so, yeah, dude, that was also something we talked about. And it's something I've heard about. Not at all something it's not that I didn't give it any thought. It's just something that I guess I hadn't came across yet. And after having you on, dude, my mind, like, not even, no bullshit, my brain was tickling. Like I not a metaphor, like I actually felt like ants were crawling on my brain, like, wake up, dude. And yeah, man, now I'm leaning more onto the simulation theory, man. And I have you, my boy, to thank for that, because the way that you explained it, I've heard it on other podcasts too, and they did a great job, but you are the one that like broke it down Barney style to me.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, man,
I appreciate you, dog. I appreciate you having me on your show, promoting us fucking hardcore, and the collaborations can't stop now. We are riding this fucking wave, and wherever I go, you go. And thank you so much for having us too. On top of that, I also know that you're working on a second project, on the second podcast. Please let us know a little bit about that too. Start freaking making some waves on that, bro. What's going on with that?
Yeah, man. So we just got done recording about like 10 minutes ago.
You're on fire, dog. You're fucking working, bro.
Our fourth podcast, our fourth episode. So it was something we kind of got started up. My fiance Ashley had a lot to do with it. I'm one of the hosts. My fiance is one of the hosts, and then my boy Hank from the 643 Conspiracy Podcast is another host. And the idea kind of behind Holistic Roots, right, is talking about like all the things again that we like to talk about, conspiracies and whatnot, truths, however you want to look at it. It takes a toll on you. You know, recently, on Sunday night we're doing a multiple series on Pizzagate, and I get excited every time I get to do a podcast, man. But when we were going over this particular subject, it takes a lot out of me. You know, I have kids, you have kids, so hearing about this type of stuff, dude, it takes a toll on me. So we were thinking, you know, why don't we do something kind of a little different than that, and
Positive
something
note.
that's gonna on a positive note, and something that's also going to challenge ourselves and also challenge the listeners. So a lot of the things that we talk about on Holistic Roots are not necessarily things that we were practicing prior. This is something where I feel like we're going to talk about it. We're going to be about it. Yeah. And so, yeah, man, we go over basic gardening.
Following you through the lifestyle, and the changes of the lifestyle is going to be live as you're speaking about it. You're living through it. So that's fucking raw, bro.
Yeah. So eventually, you know, I'm going to be having less of these and be drinking more water, and I'm going to be eating healthier. We're already kind of on the road. Our grocery store trips now take a lot longer because I'm checking every single label, and if it's got any dye whatsoever in it, it's not happening. Snap.
Ouch. Okay.
So it's kind of almost an experiment too that we're kind of doing as far as that goes with my oldest daughter, because you know she's 8 years old, and you know sometimes the mood swings can be a little much, and so we're trying to dial it in, you know, whether that be on our parenting side, but also what is she eating? Is she eating junk all day? You know, is it the red dye? So we're kind of diving into this. So anyhow, the idea behind the podcast is just to be a better version of yourself, right? And I want to be a better version of myself too. And I feel like us talking about this weekly or bi-weekly and having our listeners listen, like I'm going to be held accountable for this.
Absolutely.
You know? So
absolutely.
That's kind of the goal. Check us out. We're very new.
That's something that a lot of people are doing. Accountability is fucking huge. When does this launch so that we can start getting a perspective on it?
So right now, I just ended up creating a whole like Spotify for podcasters deal. And so we got a couple episodes on there. I just got to like hit the send button. So I would say within like the next couple of days, I'm going to hold myself accountable. I'm going to tell you the next couple of days.
Oh shit.
Right. And so when we're done here, I'm going to get this up and rolling. We don't have an intro yet. So instead of making it like the perfect podcast, because it's not going to be that right away. And I'm not saying there even is, you know, but anyhow, we're going to add, we'll grow as we go. So we'll get like a better intro, we'll get better stuff. And so rather than delaying and holding all these episodes back, we're just going to send it out, man. It's raw. It is what it is. And I hope you guys enjoy. We're on Spotify, Apple, which is where I send my RSS feed out to. I believe it also hits like Holistic Roots. Yeah. So it's fun. It's cool. It's getting my fiance involved. So it's something we can enjoy together.
Absolutely.
And
that's awesome, dog. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow, dude, you are here today, not only dropping bombs and having beautiful promotion for your new upcoming show. Make sure you check them out, Holistic Roots. And if you have an Instagram, please send us the link, and I'll start putting it on the description. And also give you a follow and start sharing you around. Guys, today we're talking about some deep conspiracies. As a matter of fact, I don't even think it's a conspiracies. Direct energy weapons needs to get into your vocabulary fast. As a matter of fact, the Department of Defense spends about $1 billion annually on direct energy weapons, and about 59 cents a blast. The laser Helios and direct energy weapons have been an active developing weapon in the U.S. Navy since 2014. High-power microwave demonstrations, not only on railguns, but also laser tech, is showcased on our Navy 24 hours a day, and influencing other world powers to research and purchase this same technology from the U.S. military. Disrupting targets at the speed of light, and at half the cost of conventional weapons. Even India's Air Chief Marshal highlighted the need of direct energy weapons in India's airborne platforms. Not only hypersonic weapons like the electromagnetic charged railgun, but also direct particle weapons like the ones showcased in the movie Pixels, the BLM riots, and 9/11 are consequences of an overstimulated stormtroop military budget. And thanks to the Tuesday experiments, we all know how the light particles can behave. Simultaneously simulating time is irrelevant. Welcome to direct energy weapons. Here we go, Big Daddy. Let's go. Boom. All right, dog. So direct energy weapons. Now, I want you to open the conversation. I have a lot of facts here and a lot of research on weaponry, but I want you to open the case on where have we seen what was the most latest attack that we've seen on direct energy weapons? Start with that, bro, and then I'm gonna fucking lead on with some research that I just found.
Let's go. So Maui, right? We all know about what just recently happened in Maui. Absolutely tragic. And if you're just watching the mainstream media, right, it's just a random event that occurred, right? Just a random event that occurred. Well, I think it's a lot more than that. And the reason why is I've been seeing a lot of firsthand videos from people that are living in the area. And a lot of people are saying, like, this was not a natural disaster. That's not how that happened. Okay. There's definitely something more to it, whether it is, I mean, I've already heard a couple different theories regarding why that happened. I know a lot of the land that was burned was wanted by certain groups and individuals. But there's also been like pictures which appear to be, real to myself of these beams kind of shooting out from the sky, like up, right? And
from the ground up. Yeah. The other way around.
Yeah, ground down. I mean, depending on which way you're looking, like if you see, but yeah, coming down from the skies, right? This beam, and it's not lightning, right? We've all seen lightning before. Lightning doesn't strike, to my knowledge, it doesn't strike in a straight line. It's jagged. I mean,
yes.
So there's been multiple sightings of those, and again, now we're hearing from the locals who have never seen anything like this, who are experiencing these beams of light from the sky down, and now we have these horrendous fires that killed multiple people. You're hearing on the media like 60, 70 people died. From what I've been hearing, that's bullshit. There's a lot more people that are died. There are people that were taking cover in the water because they thought that was the safest route. It's absolutely tragic. And I also lived through the 2017 Northern California fires, right? And we can get into that a little bit more later. But I do believe that that fire and the Paradise fire that also happened, which was, I don't know, maybe 45, 50 miles away from where I live, that was also caused by a direct energy weapon. And I put all my eggs in that basket.
And on top of it being caused by direct energy weapons is also an area where they wanted to purchase and pass a giant railway to meet the north side and I want to say the west side down the southern west side of Canada all the way down to TJ. So I know for a fact, and also we have to admit that the chemicals in the air and the aluminum that the plants are absorbing help the trees burn from the inside out. So there's videos of how the trees are actually burning. They're burning from the inside out because all the aluminum that the roots are soaking up from the water and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, let's put a pause on how the fire started. So we're going to bring that back, but that's a perfect opening statement. Let me start you off with this, dog. In 2015, Turkey and Iran weaponized Humvees and used direct energy weapons in combat in crowd control over their civilians during women's rights protests. And even after several shootdowns of drones, both Russia and China declared state-of-the-art lasers and satellites weaponization amongst their tanks. They actually ended up arming a once peaceful arena called space. 2 years ago, Fox News reported a suspected direct energy microwave weapons attack on U.S. civilians. Hashtag look it up. In 2016, during the Obama administration, over 130 victims with permanent dramatic brain injuries and burns tied claims and started suing the CIA for these excitements. So there's people and civilians. This is like almost MK Ultra within the United States of America being attacked and almost being experimented on with these microwave attacks during the Obama administration. U.S. weapons today. So I want you to look this up. EPIRUS, Epirus, whatever you want to fucking call it. U.S. weapons company Epirus specifically focuses on direct microwave weaponry and cloaking devices sold to Russia and the U.S. Cloaking devices, that same cloaking device headquarters was located in LA during the mysterious murder of Elisa Lam. Now, the reason I'm bringing Elisa Lam, it's going to blow your fucking mind. If you haven't heard of this little Asian girl that died at the fucking water tower at the Cecile Hotel, she allegedly suicided. She suicided herself, right? But we have an episode on called Alyssa Was Here, where we found out that she had connections with a South Korean general before she died, and she was investigating a cloaking company located next to the Cecile Hotel in LA. Tangible facts, you got to look this up or listen to the show, Elisa Lam from season 1 here at Paranormal Radio Podcast. You got to go listen to it to tie it to this. Now, we all know who she was connected to, the South Korean general before she died. Through her, she was a blogger, so she was well known in the fucking social medias. So what happened was she died, and now we ended up finding out that the biggest investors for this cloaking company are Japan, the US, and South Korea. So see what it is, right? All right, check this out. This is fucking crazy. You cannot forget that also solidifies. What also solidifies the fucking direct energy weapons is that in 1980s, Ronald Reagan's Strategic Defense Initiative wanted and hoped to have a fleet of lasers to shoot down UAVs in the Atlantic Ocean. So that's fact. Also, hashtag look it up. Now, I also have an announcement. Chef, you're also ex-Navy man. Thank you for your fucking service, dog.
Yeah,
you deserve the world, bro. I pay homage to you, and I could only imagine the shit that you went through, and I want to thank you for your service again. And all of my family are thankful for that. Can you solidify what did you see anything? Now, I'm not saying you have to tell me any secrets, but during your time at the Navy, during your training, did you see anything that had to be with lasers and shit? Because that's you could find this shit on YouTube today.
So to be honest, man, I did not, while I was in, see like any type of direct energy weapons, but some things that I was able to see that is mounted on some ships, which for me is mind-blowing. But they have these like almost like a turret, and they're like automatic. So I believe there is some sort of like laser technology,
track, right?
Yeah. So like I've seen a video where, and I've seen a video, but I've also heard from personal accounts from other people in the military, in the Navy, possibly also Marine Corps, but where there'll be like, if they don't have their shit turned off, there'll be like a bird flying, and all of a sudden the turret will, and then bird's gone, toast.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
Automatic.
Yeah, automatic, and it just knows where things are at. That's about as far, man. I wish I had more with that. However, I have seen a lot of and let's go.
Look, okay, so the reason I wanted to bring that in, and I think it's important that you said that you don't know and that you haven't seen really as much, because a lot of this technology are only on certain ships, not on every single fucking battleship and every single, freaking Corvette, but they're also on satellites. As a matter of fact, I want you to look up this thing called SSPIDR, Spider, SS Spider, sun project called Arachne. It takes solar power energy that's unfiltered, untapped power, and beams it straight down through RF frequency to a forward operating base like the ones in Hawaii that transform them into power. Okay, so this is what we start bringing in Hawaii back in. So there is a Spider satellite that harnesses the fucking sun energy and redirects that energy through RF frequency to the ground to be used as clean energy. And as we all know, this happened this year in January, where Hawaii signed a contract to be part of the new energy emission shit bullshit by the UN. It was one of the first states to sign that fucking contract. On top of that, fucking Biden could suck a fucking dick for not showing us some support. Fuck that motherfucker.
Amen.
So yeah, dude. So it's fucking crazy. So if you remember, the movie Battleship shows a lot of the biggest telescopes in the Western Hemisphere in Hawaii, which also they don't harness, but they're used to transmit into deep space. This is all based in Hawaii, ladies and gentlemen. So this is maybe I'm not saying that this is what happened and that Spider attacked the Earth and that they missed the fucking forward military base. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying that there is tangible facts and there's weapons up there in the space now that can very well do this fucking type of damage. Another instance of high power frequencies was the Havana syndrome. I want you guys to also look that up. The Havana syndrome, which also happened during the BLM riots in New York, and even the insurgents in January 6th. There was a lot of people that were all victims and victims of power panels shooting them with tremendous heat and sound attacks to paralyze their bodies, followed by EMP shooting down power grids in many areas of urban cities. Look up the fucking the machine called the weapon called Aurora Accelerator. So what it is it's a machine that gets put on top of a freaking Humvee, and when I think you've seen it, you've probably seen this shit. It's like a super sound wave, and it makes you go numb. It makes your eardrums bleed. It makes your eyes bleed, and it makes your mucus cells like blow the fuck up after you get hit by that sound wave. Your mucus cells are so swollen, your mouth and your lip, your eyes and everything are so fucking swollen, you look like you had a bad day at the fucking plastic surgeon, dog. It's bad, bro. so this is all right, bro. So I want you to come in, dog. Give me something, dog, because I'm talking too much out of my ass right now.
No, you're good. So going back on what you just said about the bleeding out of your eyes, I know that they are using these frequencies to do a lot of riot control.
Yeah, crowd control.
Crowd control, riot control. Yeah. And so, I mean, this even like ties into like, you know, the whole possibility too. And I don't want to get too far off topic here, but like, like 5G, like the technology is here. It's Wi-Fi. Already here. Wi-Fi, everything. You know, they're using your Wi-Fi routers to be able to track where you're at in your house. Like where you're at in your house.
That's absolutely true. I actually have a secret writer. I'm gonna call him a pen pal for now, that sent me some information where he did some digging in the web, and he found proof that the Wi-Fi routers in your house are actually not controlling, but they're tracking and they're data mining how much carbon you do in your house, how much carbon you put out in your house. And I was like, dude, he goes, I'm like, dog, you can't do that because Wi-Fi alone is the radiation, right? He goes like, no, dog, like, yeah, it does that to your body as well. It destroys trees, it destroys body cells, it does destroy brain cells, it attacks your immune system, it attacks your emotional system, and you know, your nervous system. But on top of that, it also data mines your carbon footprint, which is why a lot of people are fucking tripping out about climate change. And I didn't want to make this episode about climate change because I'm gonna talk about it on the Flashy Friday, this Friday coming up with Flash. But it's important, bro. It's important. It's something that we're all going through. And at this moment right now, if you go right now and you go to Google Maps right now and you search up the world, how much part of the world is burning, there is a fire, a massive fire on every single fucking continent in this fucking planet today, or flat earth, whatever you want to call it.
Simulation theories.
In the simulation. Yeah, dog. So it's fucking crazy, bro. It's insane, right? And I think, you know, we have to be careful. I have a lot of more information to put out, but I really want to get your 2 cents about this, dude. And how would you defend? How would you even start defending yourself against fucking direct energy weapons, bro?
Dude, I don't even know. Like, honestly, I don't even know where to even start as far as like where to defend myself. Because if they decide to put the, you know, X marks the spot on my fucking house, I'm fucked. Like, I don't know. I'm fucked. Yeah. But they're definitely doing this for nefarious reasons. A lot of people are probably like, why would they do that on purpose? Why would they? But if you've been listening to Paranoid Radio, you've been listening to this show, you know that there's a lot of crazy reasons and a lot of crazy agendas that they have. Whether they want to put a 15-minute city somewhere, whether they want to put that fast speed rail somewhere, there's always an agenda. And these people up at the top that are making these decisions, right? Even going back and looking at like the war in Iraq, like they know there's going to be casualties, and that's not their prop. They don't care about that. They don't care about having, you know, it's a part of war. And the thing is, here we're the war that we're going through, whether that we're looking at like a possible World War III, but this is a silent war. This is a war between good and evil at this point. And these direct energy weapons, they're here, dude. They're here, and they've been here. They have been here. This is not something new. And I understand it sounds crazy, but other than hearing it from myself and Trebles, you know, I recommend looking into it. Just look into it for yourself, because there's
videos all over the place, dog. There's fucking mainstream videos and mainstream media covering this shit all over the place. As a matter of fact, I was just listening to this fucking podcast where they were talking about the ice cube neutrino weapon in the South Pole. Check this out, dog. Check this out. This machine is actually proven to operate at 560 DOMs, and it can transmit through ice at 2,047 volts. It effectively detects vehicles on or off-world craft using magnetic power from the area of the planet. Now, breakthrough articles on Google state that we have gravitational power that can be physically cooked and actually used against us as microwaves. I don't know if I'm putting my, not microwaves, like manipulation of gravity, basically. Okay. So basically what they're doing is they start timing atomic hits in the center of the earth to cause earthquakes and even change the rotation of the earth at will. So now I'm pushing it almost into sci-fi, but if you have ever watched the movie The Core, it's an early 2000s movie. It's in HARP. If you know about HARP, you know that they were also fucking working with the atmosphere and trying to like cause issues in different areas of the planet, tsunamis and droughts, etc., and create clouds in different areas so that we can get hit. And the only reason California has rain is because we're creating clouds out in the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. So things like this, if you see that these things are happening, which are proven fact, what makes you think that they're holding back on this technology? They have this technology and probably not gonna be willing to use it because they know that we're the little fucking slaves that are making them powerful. So it's I need you guys to look up the Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory in the South Pole, and we live in a fucking simulation. So yeah, center of the universe, bro.
Oh, dude, yeah, hard. I mean, dude, hard. Yeah. Like they're all strategically, in my opinion, they're all strategically working together. Whether it be that device over in you said Antarctica, whether that be the direct energy weapons, whether that be HARP, like everything's just being timed out, and they're gonna plan this shit just the way they want to. The fires, like you said too, going back to like Google Earth, the fires are everywhere, man. I'm down here in Southern California. In the last 2 months, we've probably had like 20 different fires, some very local. And it's just, it's a shame. They
did the math. They did the math on the trees, dog. You have enough trees in the lungs as the lungs of the earth to process the carbon dioxide that we're putting out, all the CO2, all the emissions, right? And that's even if we're using only fucking petroleum-based cars. Now, burn all the trees down, the trees are gonna release all the CO2 that they've been holding in for the past fucking century, causing the earth to really start fucking rising in heat. And then they blame this on climate change. But the climate change is actually being pushed off the edge by humankind. Another thing that I really want you guys to look up is hashtag Buscalo GTS, that shit. Look it up. It's called the Athena by the Lockheed Martin. So Lockheed Martin is, you know, it's a government contractor for weapons. And what they do is they brought in this machine called the Athena, and they call it the Israeli Iron Beam. And it uses electromagnetic radio frequency based on use, I guess, to manipulate gravity and electric magnetic fields. And also there's another machine called their LRAD, LRAD devices that they use to acoustic properties. Remember when we were talking about frequencies? They use acoustic properties to attack very loud beams and paralyze you and make your eardrums bleed, and et cetera, and may even stop your heart at impact. So it's very important. We've seen some of those direct energy weapons also in this fucking movie called The Hulk, The Amazing Hulk, the middle one, not the first one, not the last one, the middle one. Where he fought the other Hulk, and it's they used them to fucking keep him down, because the only thing that actually keep him down was direct energy weapons. So that's another place where you showcase that. Another movie that was showcasing another direct energy weapon, like the railgun, was Transformers 2: The Rise of the Fallen. I know these are all sci-fi movies, ladies and gentlemen, but I also know that you have to have some sci-fi in it to actually look at these movies, and these movies are super extremely popular. I know you fucking seen Transformers, so try to connect the dots with things that are relevant to you. I don't expect you guys to be all conspiracy theorists, but use, search the bar, look at the fucking movie and look at it a different way, a different perspective. You'll be able to see different symbols, speeches, and different things that they say to connect it with military bases. They put it right into your face so you could accept it. Then later on, when they have these fucking lasers burning Hawaii up, it's like, direct energy weapons, we knew about it. So it stays in the back of your head, fucking cooking and marinating until you accept it.
That's what they do in these movies, man. That's what they do in all of these sci-fi movies, right? Mm-hmm. They are telling you what's happening. They kind of have to. And when you see it in these sci-fi movies, I mean, there's some people that are kind of awakened, I guess you would say, and then there's others that are not, but they're like, oh no, I seen something like that in Star Trek, or I saw something like that in Transformers. Like, it's a movie, dude. It's just a movie. That's called, special effects, CGI. No, dude. No. Maybe it was CGI what they did there, but they definitely, it's happening. Like
The
they're
plot
doing this
comes from
shit.
somewhere. Yeah.
It's coming from somewhere. And I've heard a lot of crazy, theories too. The what was that movie with what's his name? Thornos. Ah, damn it. I'm drawing a
Thanos?
Thanos. Yeah, I've heard a
Okay.
bunch of like crazy theories that style of stuff going on in that movie is kind of actually is what's going on right now.
Yeah. I think
As
there was a
far as-
report about the U.S. government actually invested into mutants, what they called mutants, in the Wuhan lab. Look it up. Not even lying, dog. This is shit. Like, I was like, wait. Go back into the TikTok channel real quick, and I've seen it twice again, and I was like, what the fuck? There again, reports are saying that out of Wuhan, the United States was funding a huge fucking research on fucking mutants, dog. Now, they didn't say if it was human mutants or animal mutants or fucking both, but it's fucking crazy. So now we're not only fucking genetic, again, generalizing and investing money into fucking chemical warfare, but I also know that the Hawaiian situation, and besides Biden fucking trying to open up another $24 billion for Ukraine, except and not being laser focused, no pun intended, laser focused on Hawaii, because lasers were fucking the ones burning them down. I feel like like this was done not only because it was prime real estate, but also because they need to push on the agenda on world climate, and then be one of the, and then Maui be one of the most futuristic cities out there with electric grids and solar panels and electric cars, and eventually push the next 49 states to push on forward for electric vehicles, and then followed up by fucking California. So California, we're about to hit that fucking borderline already. So yeah, dog, it's fucking crazy. We're a petri dish, and direct energy weapons needs to be in your vocabulary immediately, guys. Look it up. This is not a fucking lie. Direct energy weapons are real. They've been here since 2014, maybe even sooner. And the United States of America has fully adopted them on our Navy and our Air Force, and we're using them today in our satellites to either harvest or use the energy for weapons.
And
that is right.
Not only in satellites too, but they have them equipped on some aircraft. Mm-hmm. So it can look like just a plane is going by or a jet is going by. And something to keep in mind too that I wanted to kind of quickly touch on is going back to the 2017 fires, right? So I ended up sending you a little clip on it. Well, a lot of those aerial views, that's the exit that I used to take to go see my grandpa. Everyone that I worked with, almost everyone that I worked with, lost their homes because we lived in Sonoma County. We were right there. Mm-hmm. But the crazy thing is, some of these photos, there's a whole neighborhood, and everything's burnt to the freaking ground, dude. It's dust, it's ash. There's nothing else left. But there's trees standing up. Okay, so there's trees standing up. But what kind of trees are standing up? So we have a lot of trees in the fir family, in the pine family, in the there's lots of versions of those trees, but like the ponderosa pine, I believe, is the #1 burnt tree in California. And those trees are standing up.
Go back. So okay. And the trees are do these trees burn easily, or are they?
They are the most flammable trees in the state of California. The state of California. So we got,
and they're standing
pine,
up.
Yep, we got pine, fir, we got hemlock. And they're standing up in, like, I mean, a house burns and there's a tree here and a house burns, but the trees never burn. But as you were speaking about earlier, there's a lot of evidence showing that these trees were burning from the inside out. So when the fires happened, my fiance was at the hospital due to diabetes, right? And I remember I'm on the phone with her. I'm at home. I'm watching the kids at home. She's in the hospital. And I remember she interrupted me when I was talking, and she was telling the nurse that she smelled smoke. And the nurse checked and everything was fine. It just so happened that day we had like extremely, extremely high winds. Like, I will never forget it. I remember the door open, and I just remember everything blowing around. It was terrible. Well, long story short, they ended up evacuating her. The fires were really, really, really bad. They were supposedly caused by like a transformer that didn't get checked by PG&E. So down here in SoCal, we have Edison. Up in NorCal, we have PG&E. And I just think it's funny they put everything on PG&E. They put it was all their fault. When again, I know it was a fucking direct energy weapon. But a couple days later, after they evacuated her to a hospital further south down in Vallejo, we all took a trip. Me, my kid, and my fiance's brothers to go visit her. And as we're driving on the 101 freeway, south on the 101 freeway, the trees that were right there, and I can't tell you exactly what, I don't know if they were redwoods or if they were pine trees. My mind was other places and not worried about what species of tree this was, but they were smoldering, but there was no fire. Like they were in the middle, they were dividing the 101 highway, but they were smoldering. And I remember
inside out because of the fucking
from
light
the
metal
inside out.
particles. Yeah.
And I seen that with my own two eyes. And if I can find that video on my phone or my cloud, because I recorded it, I will send it, man. But I've seen it with my own two eyes.
Yeah,
And
I've seen videos, dog, where fucking people are recording and the trees are burning from the inside out, smoking, and the fire's going through the cracks of the fucking of the trunk, but the fire's not outside; it's inside the trunk, burning. It's fucking weird, and it takes forever to burn down because of the freaking. It's just like you said, smoldering. Wild. That is wild.
It never crossed my mind until you mentioned it earlier about. Like, why is it burning from the inside out? And you think about all the heavy metals that's being dumped on us every single day. And then, of course, it's being absorbed into the ground. Well, then the roots of the trees go to get their resources and they're soaking up the same thing. So, like, it almost takes like cloud seeding to a whole nother level. Like they're trying to poison us. Like maybe they are, but maybe there's something else they're trying to do, and they're preparing for something down the road, because now we're seeing these crazy freaking fires. And I think they fucked up is what I think they did. I think they fucked up because they know that they fucked up, because all these trees are still standing. They should all be burnt down, especially when you're going to call something a forest fire. What's a forest, right? A forest is full of trees, full of shrubbery, right? But I think them dumping all these chemtrails, cloud seeding, whatever you want to call it, I don't think they realize that the trees were going to be absorbing this, and they're not going to burn naturally no more. They're going to be, again, burning from the inside out and not the outside in. So my mind is once blown again from having a conversation with you.
Well, let me tell you something else. What do you think this light metal particles do in your brain when you surround yourself with frequencies such as Wi-Fi? Again, like I told you, not controlling. I don't want to jump into the deep end of the pool where I'm saying, oh, they're controlling your emotions and brain controlling you. They're not, but they are making you sick. And you are transmitting a signal, and you are an antenna transmitting the signal to somebody else. And so that person goes to the other corner, and then your neighbor has a Wi-Fi router, and the signal is only getting amplified by your body. And then you follow up by fucking dying out of cancer at a very early age, because you have high metal frequencies and your brain you start getting Alzheimer's and shit because your brain is filled with all these light aluminum particles. Same thing as a fucking tree burning from the inside out, dog. This is fucking wild. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Chef from Sunday Night Secret Societies. Let them know again once more where they can find you, dog.
Yeah, guys. So you can find us on Sunday Night Secret Society. Again, we're on Instagram. We're on Twitter now. We got our podcast rolling. So we're on Apple. We're on Spotify. You can also find Holistic Roots, which will be coming out in a few days, right? Accountability. So I'm telling you, it's going to be out in a couple days. It's going to be out in a couple days.
You said a few days. You didn't give us a date. So
okay. Let's go. Today's Tuesday. Let's say by Friday.
Bam.
We have a couple episodes in the bank, as you like to say. And so you can find us there. Thank you again. I'm blessed to be on the baddest fucking podcast with the best listeners.
Like, that's right, dog. That's right.
And the best host, Trebles Garcia. Thank you again, man. Always blessed.
Thank you, dog. I appreciate your time, your knowledge. Thank you for being hosted at this out of the blue and emergency fucking broadcast. I want to thank you so much. Mad shout outs to the best calls on the fucking planet. Big Tank, Flash from Flashy_News 1 is up next. So we're recording Thursday and dropping that Flashy Friday in 1 day from today. So when this episode drops, 1 day from the day that this episode drops, followed by, I want to call it fuck Joe Biden, but I can't, it's gonna get censored. So I'll probably put F Biden or something creative. But the promotion video is gonna be out soon. Make sure you check us out on Paranoid Radio on Instagram. ParanoidRadio.com is temporarily blocked and under maintenance, and I'm trying like I really want to build up a new website on a different server. So guys, make sure you go to Paranoid Radio on Instagram, Paranoid Radio on Instagram, and drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. It allows other people to enjoy the show as much as we enjoy making it. Chef, thank you so much for being here. Love you, dog. Peace out.
Trebles, love you too, brother.
Paranoid Radio.